Hey, welcome everyone to PrepperNet Live. As you're joining, if you'll go into the chat room there and just put where you're from so people can see where everyone is from, and we'll be with you in just a second. We got a YouTube sensation in the green room, waiting in the virtual green room, Prepper Princess. So we'll be with you in just a second. But as you join, just tell everybody where you're from and then share your credit card number. All right, we got one credit card number. Hey, Scott, we need the expiration date and the 3-digit code for that too, if you don't mind. Again, we're about to get started. Waiting for a few more people to join, and we'll get this thing rolling. Okay, we're going to get started. Sweet. Okay, what a big night we have. I know y'all like that music. That's why I keep it going. So this evening we have, I've been calling her a YouTube sensation. She is awesome. I've been watching her videos for a long time. Prepper Princess. But you know I have my announcements, and I'm going to try to get through them really quick so you guys won't complain as much this time. So the first one is, hey, this is brought to you by PrepperNet. PrepperNet is a group of like-minded individuals that we have meetings locally throughout the United States in over 80 cities where you can meet people, preppers, and get to know them, maybe form a group years down the road, but get to know them and, you know, just have a support network. And to do that, you got to know people locally. Everyone knows people on the internet, but it's local. And so PrepperNet is all about getting people together. Here's some of the cities, if you can see them, that we're in. We've actually, I think today alone, I added Northeast Indiana, which is not on there. And I added another, I don't know the other city. Gosh, I can't remember, but they're all over. Okay. You can go to meetup.com and see where we're meeting. Some of them are literally virtual right now because of COVID and all that kind of crap. But hey, go check it out. We also are supported by listeners. It's $40 a year. It's a premium membership. It's, I'll tell you, my MailChimp account alone is $280 a month. There's expenses of doing this. And so for $40 a year, you help us. That's a cup of coffee in San Francisco. Let's be real. So not begging for money, but just support us. We have made the move off of Facebook. You can go to the Facebook, but it tells you to go to MeWe. We are on MeWe, and tomorrow we have big news coming out. We've created our own social media platform just for our members, and we are releasing that tomorrow. This is the first you've heard of it. I know there'll be an email going out tomorrow. If you want to know where that is and a safe environment that is ours, that we can control almost 100%, go and join PrepperNet. It's free. We have a free membership and a premium. Just join us free. You'll get the email, but we've created our own social media network. And I don't censor. Well, I censor illegal things, but yeah, so go there. That's coming out tomorrow. I had a leader call last night. We got everyone ready. The whole site's ready. We're going to release that tomorrow. It's not like MeWe. It's not like Facebook. It's ours. There'll be a lot of ways to interact with other people. I want to remind you, we've been doing this for a while. You can go back all the way to the year. We've been doing live videos. I had Glenn Tate and Shelby Gallagher on. I had Ross Powell talking about survival 401k, Jonathan Hollerman. Then we had Thanksgiving. And so go back and watch some of the shows. Tonight we have the YouTube sensation, Prepper Princess. And she has a crown on tonight, I think. I don't know. We'll see. But she is on tonight. Kyle, my partner from Prepping, I can't even say my own podcast name. Prepping Academy is going to be here next week. And he's got so many conspiracy theories, it will blow your mind. He's a conspiracy theory nut. And then Scott Hunt, Engineer 775, is coming on December 17th. If you remember, he was one of the judges on Practical Preppers. Good friend of mine. We talked. He has lost, I think now, if you've been following him, almost 100 pounds on this diet that's so weird. It's called the carnivore diet. All you eat is animal parts, which is disgusting, but I'm sure that will come up as well. So go follow him as well. So I do want to mention two things. I've written 2 books, and my newest book right there, Stand Firm to the End, is a great book. They're both good books. And they're awesome. And they're very tiny. You can read these in a night. I promise. They're tiny. They're like 80 pages. But it's my heart is in these. They're good books to give other people, to get them kind of start thinking about getting in the prepping business. But so I released Stand Firm to the End about 2 months ago. But I will have to say, I know you guys, this irritates you guys. But on Thanksgiving Day, I released another book. Yes, another book, a real book that has lots of pages in it. It's called The Preparedness Roadmap. This takes someone through an entire year of prepping. This not only does it tell you exactly what to buy, it tells you the skills you need to learn in a time reference. It takes you through a year. So it tells you what to buy the first few months. Like the first thing is to double your pantry. Buy the things you already eat and double it. And then it takes you through some skills you need to learn, like starting a fire or purify water. And the skills get more difficult through the year. And then it also covers mindset, because mindset is important. And it's not it talked about a lot, but you read some books, watch some movies, watch some YouTube videos, and it helps you with some mindset in case we have to go through a true crap hit the fan scenario. So it's on sale at Amazon. It's a real book. It's good. If you guys remember during COVID when I did that free class, that free class is 6 chapters in this. I think it's 22 chapters in here. That class was 6 chapters of this book. So anyway, go buy that. And I make a ton of, if you guys know anything about books, you don't make a lot of money on books. I mean, seriously. My other one's like $4.99. So anyway, hey, that is enough about me and PrepperNet. Again, the big email is coming out tomorrow. It's going to drop our own social media site. So, and it's awesome. And it's been working. It's really good. But tonight, I'm going to bring in here Prepper Princess. There she is. I told you she had a crown on.
Got my hat on. Hello, Forrest. Hello, fellow patriots.
Yes. And she is a YouTube sensation. I've been using that for all my marketing. And I know you hate that.
It's just, it doesn't apply to me, I don't think. I don't feel like a YouTube sensation, but thank you, I guess.
You have tens of thousands. You got 140,000 followers. That's a lot of followers.
I guess it is, yeah.
And okay, seriously. The video you posted, let me just say this. This video you posted 5 days ago already has almost 60,000 people have watched it.
That's a few people. That's like a football stadium, right?
Yeah, but if you count all the people that have ever seen me, it probably doesn't add up to that. But
oh, come on. I bet you could add it up to more than that.
But Prepper Princess, she's at prepperprincess.com, or you can go to her YouTube channel and watch her YouTube channel. And she puts up a video. Actually, I didn't know this. I mean, I did know this. So you are an affiliate with Sun Oven.
Yep. And
you absolutely love your Sun Oven because you tell everyone about it.
I do. I use it at least twice a week, and I of course plan out my meals. I usually do them 3 or 4 days at a time, and I use my Sun Oven to cook almost everything except for, rice on a camp stove or something if I need it at nighttime.
Right. And so tonight,
not you. Go ahead.
Yeah.
No.
And tonight she actually did a video, and I didn't even know this, about cooking a chicken in her Sun Oven, which is awesome. Didn't know that. That's a bonus. So let's go here. There we are.
I am so sorry. My dog is just acting up. There's no other way to say it. He was trying to hump some pillows, and now he's trying to get my attention.
Yep.
He's probably going to knock over the lamp in a second here. But yes, the Sun Oven. So I do make a lot of chicken in the Sun Oven, and I really like doing vegetables like asparagus, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, stuff like that. Really good stuff. And it comes out like, whenever I make a chicken in a regular oven, I don't even have gas set up to use my oven right now. But when I cook a chicken in a regular oven, it always comes out dry. Like, it doesn't matter how low my temperature, mess it around, do all that stuff. But in the Sun Oven, it always comes out tender and like it's coming off the bone. And it's
Look at your dog. Look at your dog.
Rocky, I'm going to put you outside. Come here. You want a cookie? Let's get you a cookie. Rocky.
That's live TV right there.
So sorry. Go on. Go on. I am so sorry.
That is hilarious.
My apologies. I am embarrassed, but he's a dog. There's nothing I can do to stop him from doing that.
That is, this actual may be my most watched video right there, dog porn.
I'm so sorry.
Oh,
what were you saying? I'm sure it was something very important.
I don't know, but we weren't even planning on talking about the Sun Oven. That's not the reason I had you here.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But with that, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you kind of got into this genre, and then we'll get into some of your details.
Well, it's been so long. I know that I started prepping right after my mother died, and I moved into her house and I paid off the house. And then once you pay off your house, but you don't really have any savings, that's sort of your next step, is just like, okay, so I'm prepared for now, but how do I prepare for the future? And then it's like, okay, so I'm preparing for the future, but what if I lose my job? Or I get sick, or I'm disabled? How can I prepare for that? So I started stocking up the number 10 cans. And then it was like, okay, then it turns into like, what if the whole, sorry, my hands have paint, but what if the whole economy collapses and something really bad happens? And then you just sort of spiral into it, and you just kind of go in a certain direction, and it sort of naturally flows with being prepared. And I've always lived on an extremely tight budget, and I felt that it was necessary to share my money saving ideas, because when you're prepping for an apocalypse, you need to prepare for the world that you live in now as well. So if the world does not end by retirement age, do you want to live on the streets, or do you want to live abundantly in the way that you are now? Do you want the same lifestyle you have now? So I teach, money saving tips so that you can prepare for your financial future via 401ks, IRAs, whatever. I don't really talk about investing because everybody's situation is different.
Right.
But if most people can't find the money to invest, so I try and teach people to different ways to save money so that you have extra money to invest. And getting out of debt is one of the best ways to grow wealth. So everybody needs to be debt free. I'm just saying.
Yes, I agree. And that's one of the things that I teach here at PrepperNet is, hey, when you're debt free, it gives you more income, it gives you more freedom, and the government, the banks, whoever has less power over you.
Well, ever since we got off the gold standard, the government wants us to be in debt. They want us to be enslaved. They want us to have to work 9 to 5 just to pay for a car payment. That's why all these crazy loans come out. Like, banks will give you any loan. If you have horrible credit, you've declared bankruptcy, you can still get into a new car with an extremely high interest rate. And people don't realize that these companies are totally predatory. Like, they are I get so angry. They're predators towards people who do not have the financial education. And isn't it kind of ironic that they don't teach financial education in school? That needs to be taught. I think that financial education in schools is like more important than English or science. Like, it's incredibly important, or geography or history. You need to look toward, if you want to have any sort of adult life, you need to know what's coming towards you, and you need to be ready for it.
That is weird to teach that in schools at all. I'm getting a lot of feedback from me there. But yeah, so you do too. Your whole channel is, you make some people mad because you literally live for, I think one of your YouTube videos was you live for less than $1,000 a month.
Yeah. I actually have it around here. It's more like 800, but that is spread out over the course of a year. So some of my bills on that $800 or $900 a month come by quarterly, some come yearly. So typically what I do is I get paid and I budget $100 for, I'll take $200 out of the bank, and 100 goes towards food and the other 100 goes towards whatever. And that's it. I've got $200 for the month. The rest of the stuff is automatically deducted from my account, or the bill comes at the end of the year. So I live on very, very little.
And that is freedom, correct?
Absolutely. The less I spend, the more free I feel, and the less I own, the more free I feel.
And you're not a hoarder. Like a lot of preppers are just hoarders.
No, I'm actually turning into more of a minimalist. We talked about this behind the screens. I have right here 51 cans of freeze-dried food that I am getting rid of in a barter to have my microwave installed. But I want a 1-year supply. If I can't get my S together in 1 year with my fishing, foraging, and hydroponic system, which is behind this camera, which, well, I can't really turn the camera. But if I can't get it together in 1 year after some sort of economic collapse, I deserve to die anyway. Because I consider myself an expert fisherman. Getting chickens is extremely easy, and it's very easy to care for them. And I've had chickens in the past. I know how they work. Growing rabbits is pretty much, I've researched it, and it's like it's easy peasy. So if I can't grow rabbits and get eggs from chickens and live off of my hydroponic system and go fishing, just let me go. I wasn't supposed to make it anyway.
That's one way to look at it.
Yeah.
So, and you talk, do you find that more women watch your channel than men?
No, it's men aged 55 to 64.
Is that because you're a princess?
I don't know. Well, it's funny. It depends on the type of video. So if it's a money saving video, it is typically women age 55 to 64. And if it's a prepping video, it's typically men age 55 to 64. So I can see how prepping would be more man focused in terms of men have like it's in their DNA to like survive and like, you know, kill a deer and drag it back to the cave and stuff like that. Whereas women more want to make the house a home and do whatever they can with the deer that their husband just killed and brought home. So they want to make that deer stretch. So how do you make things stretch and make it last forever, dehydrate beef jerky? You know, how do you cook it? What's the best way to cook it? You know, we're just different creatures. And, you know, not one is better or one is worse than the other. We're just totally, totally different. And I try and direct my channel towards both, but I can see why men would be more interested in the prepping and the women would be more interested in the money saving.
Yep. I already told you my wife watch your channel.
I'm sorry that you were breaking up.
I said I already told you I wouldn't let my wife watch your channel.
Because she wouldn't let you spend on your preps.
Yeah.
I understand that.
She lives on $800 a month. Why can't we do that? Yeah. So she's not allowed.
Well, my property taxes are a huge part of that. When I was in California, my property taxes were over $4,000 a year, and here they're $433 for a year.
So you're in Arizona now, right?
What?
You're in Arizona now?
I'm in Arizona now, and like the car registration in California, I think was $700 for one car, and here, I think I got both of them registered for about $200 for 5 years. And the bills here are just like anything in California, cut it in half. So if you need to hire an electrician, whatever you're thinking it's going to cost half that. When you need to hire a plumber, whatever you think it's going to cost half that. When you go to the grocery store, whatever you're thinking of spending, it's going to be half that. So it's a really big difference. And I noticed I went back to my family's for Thanksgiving to visit, and my brother had, you know, I live in a 900 square foot house. My brother's is 2,800 square feet. And I noticed that as soon as I got into California, like as soon as I got into his house and got myself settled, I was immediately in the rat race in my mind. I was like, I want that and I want that. And why don't I have that? I need to paint things like that. I want that kind of furniture. And I really had to, and I was getting jealous, like in a bad way. Mm-hmm. It wasn't just wanting to keep up with the Joneses. It was like that biblical word, the bad thing, that it's a sin. Covet. I was starting to covet whatever everybody else had. And I knew, like, that's the moment I knew that I made the right choice in leaving California. I wasn't going to be able to, there was just no freedom there. I mean, my house was paid off. I lived in the Bay Area, a beautiful place called Livermore, beautiful downtown. But the people there just, they don't have, there's just something, it's not that it's not right. It's just, it doesn't match with my personality. And going back there, anytime I go back there, I feel very claustrophobic and pressured to do things. And you don't get that here in Arizona.
Yeah, and you almost live off grid. You could, correct?
I could. Actually, right now, everything that you see on in this room is solar. I've got my Eco Delta next to me. I've got my Bluetti over there. I've got a Suwaki over on my TV. And the thing is, right now, I think my electricity company is ripping me off. They're saying that I'm using 12 kilowatts of energy per day. And I know for a fact that I'm using less than 2. So right now I've got everything in my house turned off. I've got everything on solar right now. And I'm going to be doing that the next 3 days to see if there is a reading for more than nothing on my electricity usage for the next 3 days.
Wow. So you normally have the power on, correct?
I normally have the power on. Absolutely. Yeah.
I sound like Satan coming from your speakers.
I do?
No, I do. I can hear the echo back to us. But you watch every penny you spend. Now, you know, I would say that you're almost an extremist in saving money.
See, but that's not how I see it. If I want something, I can buy it. But the thing is that my mentality, I don't want anything. So let's say I've got a friend coming to visit. My best friend Shelly comes and visits me from Indiana, and I want to show her a good time. And I live on the river, and I live in the desert, so I want to go rent a UTV for $500. There you go. I'll spend it. It's not. I don't. It's not that I don't. I'm definitely not an extremist. And another benefit to just being me is that I don't care about what I eat. Like, I know calories and stuff like that, but like a lobster and steak dinner to me is just as good as an egg sandwich. Like, I don't care either way. And a lot of people spend a ton of money on food, and I don't. And my favorite thing, I don't drink soda. I don't drink alcohol. I hate alcohol. The only thing I drink is coffee and water, and those are the two cheapest drinks on the planet. So, that's one of the biggest ways I'm able to save. But I don't consider myself an extremist because everything I like to do is free. I like to go fishing. It's free. Well, I guess you have to pay for your fishing license, but walking, I love walking. I love exploring. I don't really love the things that other people do. Like, people go shopping for entertainment, and going shopping for entertainment to me is like wasteful. It's pretty much, and then, oh gosh, there's so much. And then I see people throwing away food because they just didn't want it. They cooked it. They said they were going to make leftovers, and then they shoved it to the back of their fridge until it grew mold. I don't do that. I'm a no waste household. But yeah, anything that I want to do doesn't cost any money. It's always free.
A video of a $1 meal.
What?
You did a video of a $1 meal?
A $1 meal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done several of those. I think that those were like 4 years ago. I don't think that I could make any more $1 meals anymore. I mean, you can, but rice, beans, and a potato, but right. You're not going to get a beautiful meal out of $1 these days.
Yeah. You're all about not spending money. Almost a minimalist. You are, but yeah, you do have a house. You're on the grid, but you're debt free, and you live on very little money. And that should be the American dream.
I guess, but it's not. People want what they can't afford, and I've always had a really low income. So even when I was working in California, when I left, I was making $22.50 an hour in the Bay Area of California, which is about half of what I should have been making for California prices. But and when you live on a low income, you sort of have to be what other people consider extreme. You just consider it to be normal. So, yeah. And here where I live now, it's $12 an hour. Like, everything is $12 an hour. It's minimum wage. So it doesn't matter if you work at Walmart or if you work in an office, you're going to make $12 an hour in this area.
Okay. So, you've done quite a few videos on the food shortage in America.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys watch, Ice Age Farmer. Ice Age Farmer. So we're in a solar minimum, and I don't remember the specific statistics. Try and say that fast 5 times. But there are other countries where they're using up their food stores. In China, their rice, I think it's 75% of their rice, or 70%, is dead. It was flooded. So they have no rice. So where we usually import from is places like Thailand. Well, China is paying Thailand a premium in order to get their corn, soy, and rice. So if China's paying, any company, if China's paying more than America's paying, they're going to give it to China. Right. So we're our trade in terms of the food that we import is, less. We have less opportunity, but at the same time, people waste 40% of the food that they purchase. So if people just stopped wasting, there would be no problem. no food shortages, no nothing. But there's a big difference between a food shortage and a famine. So a food shortage means that we're just going to have specific products that are going to be out of stock for a short period of time. So you'll be able to substitute your Quaker Oats with the store company Quaker Oats. But a famine is when there's no food to be had, no matter how much money you have. I don't think we're going into a famine. I think we're going into food shortages. It just means you're going to have to swap for something that you wouldn't normally buy, but there's still going to be food.
So you don't recommend people to store? I mean, what do you recommend people have on site?
On hand?
Yeah,
you should always have rice and beans to make as a base. I love Hormel chili. Dak ham I hate Spam, but yeah, Dak ham is a really good meat. Or those cans of tuna is always really good. And bread flour and yeast. So those are the main components that you should have on hand. And when I'm talking about rice, get white rice and brown rice. Get both of those. When it comes to beans, get a bag, like 2-pound bag for $2. Black beans are the most hardy. They're the stick to your ribs kind that like really fill you up fast. Pinto beans, kidney beans, red beans, split peas, lentils, quinoa. Like those are all, and they all have a different flavor and a different color and a different texture. So even though you might just be having rice and beans, it actually has a lot of different flavor to it. Spices, salt, pepper, paprika, cayenne, Mrs. Dash, whatever you like. You should always keep spices on hand. I'm trying to think, but I think that those are you just need rice and beans are considered a full meal, but you're going to get sick of them real fast. I love Hormel chili because it's got beans and meat, plenty of protein and lots of calories, really sticks to your rib. And Progresso, tomato, basil, some penne. That stuff's really good. But yeah, I mean, being a prepper, you don't have to have a 20-year supply on hand. Be like a Mormon, get a 1-year supply of food. If you're gonna, I don't know. What my pantry looks like is I buy 6 cans of any product at a time. So I've got 6 Hormel chilies sitting next to 6 of my favorite penne, and then I've got 6 cup of noodles teriyaki, and then 6 cup of noodles chicken, and then I've got 6 canned corn, 6 green beans. So everything's in 6s. And 1 can lasts 2 meals.
Well, I mean, 2 meals from 1 can?
Well, if you look at the serving size of a can, I'm not saying you're going to eat 1 can of green beans and that's going to be a meal. Okay. So that's not what I mean. So no. So you've got tuna, right? And you've got your homemade bread. So you've got a tuna sandwich, and then you've got a half a can of green beans. And then you set that can aside, and then your next meal is going to be a tuna sandwich and a half can of green beans.
Yeah. So and you preach, I won't say preach, you try to convince people that get out of the system. Create your own system where you're out of debt, you have food, you're healthy, and you do the things you want to do, and it is a freedom when you get there. And that's kind of the underlying message you have, that hey, you guys might think I'm poor because I live in this small house and I eat this meal and I have I'm going off solar right now, but actually I'm the opposite of poor. I'm richer than you because of the time and freedom I have.
Well, no, it's not just the time and freedom. I have a ton of money. And the money that I have is because I live such a frugal lifestyle. And people always talk about, well, you just sold your mom's home in the Bay Area of California, and that's why you have so much money. If I were to take that out, I would still have over $250,000 that I saved on my own after buying this house on my own in cash. So I'm filthy rich, but I mean, by most people's standards, I'm not filthy rich. I'm not a millionaire, but I will be within the next 20 years. But if you say something like that on YouTube, people will immediately unsubscribe And they're like, they don't want to see that you have $500,000 in savings.
Right.
They want to see you living poor and how you do it every day. So that's what I show. I show how I do it every day. And then but I also have freedom. If I wanted to quit YouTube, Patreon, take down my website, and just live a completely private life, because my expenses are so low, I could live off of my investments and savings for the rest of my life and have no problem with that. Call me greedy, whatever, but that is the way it is. And then a lot of people ask me, what is my end game? Like, I'm going to make a video about this eventually, but like, why do you do this? You don't have any kids. Why don't you just spend your money as you make it? Everything that I have when I'm dead goes to charity. Everything. It's not going to my brother, my nieces, my nephews. It all goes to charity, and it will save lives. If my death can save the lives of 100 people, I can't imagine anything being more selfish than helping save lives as opposed to getting a steak and lobster. Like, no, screw you. I'm going to have my steak and lobster. You can go ahead and die of illness, and I'm not going to help you. To me, that's just the worst thing you can do.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay. It's just we hear me talking through your speakers. But you can also will everything you have to me. I don't mind that.
I can do. You want it? Well, where's that guy that gave his credit card number at the beginning of the show? Maybe I'll give it to him.
Yeah. So, are you pessimistic for the American future, or not really, or optimistic?
That's a really hard question. You know, I think since the 1950s, we hit our peak of industrialization, the morality of human beings, the lovingness towards God and kindness to your neighbor. That was before I was born. When I was growing up, we could still go outside and play and not worry about a Karen running over us with her car or being kidnapped. Now, you know, there's riots and looting, and just go on any YouTube, one of my YouTube videos, go look in the comment section, the trolls. They're not just trolls. They're bad people. Mm-hmm. I think that mental illness is rising. I think that hatred is rising as people turn further away from God. I think that socially things are very bad. And I think that that's because a lot of people voting now are voting based on emotion and not logic. If you vote on logic, we will be a prosperous nation. If you vote on emotion, we're going to become a socialist nation. So we've got Biden, who won the presidency. I don't know if Trump is still fighting it or not. And whether he won or not, I don't want to get into that. But the next 4 years may be very detrimental to people who do have wealth and very beneficial to people who do not have wealth. So I guess for me, it's pessimistic, but for 90% of the population, it's optimistic. So that's kind of hard to say. I think that I honestly don't know. I mean, it could go either way.
Okay. With your YouTube audience, do you feel that you can connect with them, and do you feel like you have a following that stays with you and tries to implement, or are they just fascinated with what you say? I mean, are they true believers in what you get across to them, or do they just like looking at the Prepper Princess?
I don't know. I think I have a core base of maybe 8,000 people. And those people are there every single time. There's this guy, I just call him Mr. Jones. I think his name is David Jones. He just says THKS, thanks, on every single of my videos since the very first video I put out. That's all he says. But he's been there every single video, every single time. But there is a base of them of about 8,000 that And I get letters occasionally from people who will say, I started listening to you and I took $600 a month off my budget. Thank you so much. Those are the emails that I love to get.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's Rocky at the door in case you hear anything. But I also have a Patreon, and my Patreon supporters are the ones that I'm able to, I read every single comment and I reply to every single comment. So that's where that's the only place I can have a lot of back and forth. Otherwise, on YouTube, it's too much of a public forum for me to express my opinions in the comments section for the most part.
How do you, with the money you have, do you invest it in the markets, or what do you do with it?
So right now, from the sale of my mother's house, I haven't touched it. I have to wait for tax season to be over, and my Aunt Pam gets a portion of the sale of the house. So that there's like $350,000 there that I haven't touched. They're just sitting in an account, which drives me nuts. But I have a large portion of my investments in a, what's it called? A tactical investment, and I have it through Way Financial. My guy is Joseph Laswell in Ripon, California, because everybody always asks, but I'm always like, okay, here's where, and it's really cool because I get weekly updates of if I gained money or lost money that week. But I have a large portion in that tactical portfolio. And I also do some of my own investing in Charles Schwab, and that's the majority of that's just in a low cost S&P 500.
Do you do any cryptocurrency?
No.
No cryptocurrency?
No.
Are you against that?
No, I'm not against it at all. In fact, I think that a lot of people, if they benefit from the opportunity of taking that, good for them. But I have a tortoise mentality. So I'm not ultra conservative in my investments, but I believe that slow and steady wins the race. So I just do what works for me, and that works for me. It doesn't work as quickly as as day trading could if I did that, but it still works. And I made a really good investment at the beginning of the year. I can't say which company it is because I used to work for them, and I'm on a contract where I can't say anything about them until I haven't been with them for a year. But anyway, I invested in that company right when I left them, and they were at $70 when I invested, and then they went up to $240. And I got out then, and I was pissed because now they're at like 500. But I made a really good chunk of money off that one investment. So not only do I do the S&P 500s, I've got stocks in, this is a good one, 3M. And I put it in right before the virus, where 3M was the only one making the masks. Mm-hmm. So I just got lucky. I've got some in Bemis, one of the gun companies, I can't remember. But I don't do a lot of single company stocks. But when I do them, they're in there to stay, because I made that error with that investment I made, that I got out at 240 and now they're at 500.
What about gold and silver?
I have tangible gold and silver, but I don't do gold and silver online.
Right. Okay.
Like stocks and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And did you start out with the envelope system?
Oh my, it was so long ago. So I'm 39 now. When I was getting out of debt, I was 22. No, I don't think that I did. So what happened is I was in my apartment with a roommate, and I used to pay all my bills and stuff like that, but I never got them all at the same time. And on one day, I got them all on the same day, my credit cards, my car payment, my student loan. And I looked at them all, and they were like, I was like, oh, like it says the total balance and it says your minimum payment. And I was like, how did this happen? So I immediately took all the credit cards, and then I transferred it to a 0% for 24 months or something. The next day, I went out and got a second job the next day. And I did that. I worked 6 days a week from 6 a.m. to midnight every day. And on the 7th day, I had a half-day shift. And if I didn't have that half-day shift, I would go do the labor ready, like the The thing you just go in and they give you a job for the day. And I did that every single day for a year and a half. And I paid everything off. And it's sort of like when you're getting out of debt like that, I was like, you know, Dave Ramsey says gazelle intensity. I was more like, I want to rip off this Band-Aid as quickly as possible. Like some people, if I didn't do that, I would still be paying off my student loan right now. It was supposed to go till I'm 42. So I'd still be paying it off. But I wanted to rip off that Band-Aid so fast. And so I went full force for a year and a half and I paid off everything as fast as I could. And I'm so glad that I did it so young.
Wow.
But I wish I didn't. I never got into debt.
Right. So, and I know if everyone wonders, I have not. She has no idea the questions I'm going to ask her.
Nope.
we
did not go over this.
I probably should have.
Yeah. Am I talking too much? Am I not giving good answers?
No, you're doing awesome. You're.
Okay.
So, what's your take on the pandemic that we have gone through or going through?
Well, I'm not going to say that COVID-19 is not real. I actually I made a big mistake when COVID first came out, and I was like, oh, don't worry about it. Well, it's real. It's real. But I think that shutting down the economy is stupid. If this is America and we should have the freedom to choose to wear a mask. This is America. We should have the freedom to choose if we're going to put ourselves in danger, not just by getting in our car and driving on a highway, but by going into a grocery store without a mask. That should be our choice. That's all there really is to it. I hate having to go to the grocery store, walking up to the door, and then they say face covering required to enter. And then I have to walk all the way back to my car, get this stupid mask that, by the way, I've worn 50 times and it does no good. It's like all gunked up and dirty and stuff. And it's like I just keep forgetting to replace it. But I'm not in that age group or in the health group that is at high risk. And I wash my hands as soon as I get home. And I just think that closing down the economy, I almost feel like there's an ulterior motive to it, but I can't put the puzzle together as to what it is. I don't know what it is. I can only speculate. But as an American, it's my right, and I should be able to go into a grocery store and purchase something without the requirement of a mask.
So, just an off-the-wall question. Do you follow any sports or any TV shows at all?
No.
You have free TV, is that correct?
Yeah, I have a Roku box. It's got, my favorite is Peacock TV. Okay. It's like so right now I'm watching Paranormal Activity, and it's like 6 seasons of like scary stuff. So I've been going through that. And then Amazon Prime, I'm not an Amazon Prime member, but if you go over to Amazon Prime, which is an app on the Roku box, there's a place that shows free, you can watch free movies. I watched every Hunger Game and Mockingjay movie. It's got all of Little House on the Prairie. And then I got the NBC app. I watched all 5 seasons or 6 seasons of Quantum Leap on that. You go over to Tubi, and Tubi's got like a lot of movies, action, thriller, horror, and they're all total B movies, but they're entertainment. You go over to, well, there's the Roku channel. The Roku channel's got a ton of movies. There's so many apps on there. It's ridiculous it's ridiculous to pay for cable these days. Now, I'm a big proponent of Sling TV. If you are weaning yourself off of cable and you still need that live TV programming, so go get yourself some Sling TV. It's on my website if you want to take a look at it. But otherwise, just get a Roku box or a Fire Stick or whatever else is on the market and just go with that. I mean, I've been watching, I cut my Sling TV off like a month ago. I am not going to run out of programming anytime soon, that's for sure.
What do you do about internet?
I have to have regular internet, yeah. And it's expensive where I live too.
And that's because of your YouTube videos that you do. Do you ever do live YouTube?
I did for a while, and then the trolls got out of hand. And then I got threatened with what's that word? Swatting. Somebody emailed me and said, if you do another live chat, I'm going to have you swatted.
Oh.
So I don't care if I get swatted. I don't know if anybody knows this. I grew up in a rough household where my mom's boyfriend, we were raided by SWAT team all the time. But I worry about my dog. So I don't want the SWAT team coming in. He is the sweetest guy, but he really does look pretty fierce, and I don't want them coming in and hurting him. So I stopped doing it for the longest time. When I moved here, I did a live chat, and I called the police department ahead of time, and I talked to the police chief or whatever. And I said, this is what's happening. I'm going to be doing this. My door will be open. Please just knock and I will answer the door. But I would have to hold my dog. And they were like, okay, gotcha. Because the police department's a block and a half away from where I live. So they were like, okay, but if somebody calls in, we have to come over, but we'll be cool about it. And I was like, okay, good. So now I'm planning on maybe doing a live chat every month. But if I do, I have to call the police department every time ahead of time.
Right. Do you say, hey, listen, I'm a YouTube sensation, and
I don't say sensation. I say I am a YouTuber.
okay, okay. But sensation just sounds so with the princess. It's just
hi,
magical.
I'm Pepper Princess on YouTube. Have you heard of me?
Yeah. If you haven't, you're dead.
Oh, God.
So you cook a lot of your meals in the sun oven, but you have you like technology and gadgets. Like you just introduced a new refrigerator or a freezer.
That thing is so cool. Yeah, go ahead.
And it's even though it would cost some money up front, in the long run it would save you money and also help you through maybe a grid down or power outages or something.
Yeah, so my biggest things, if there is ever a grid down, the things that I care about, go ahead and laugh, are my TV and my fridge. That's it. That's all I care about when it comes to electricity. People are always say, I just want to keep my lights on. And then it's like, go get a solar bulb. They're $7. You just kept your lights on. Like, come on. No, but yeah, mine is refrigeration and TV because I go crazy without background noise. And I hate music, and talk shows on radios are all political and I hate those too. So I always like to have something on in the background that's usually any TV show, like anything, just put it on in the background. So that refrigerator is like, when they contacted me about that, I was like, yeah, right. And then I look at it and I'm like, huh, okay. And then I started using it and I was like, holy crap, this is for real. But it only uses 60 watts. That's the same as an incandescent bulb. My Kodiak will punch out it'll punch out 1,000 watts, but it has an incoming potential of 500 watts. And if I've got my 60 watt refrigerator, and then I've got my TV, which is like a TV, the energy efficient TVs we've got now are crazy. It's like maybe 50 watts for my TV, my Roku box, and my DVD player. So if you're looking at 110 watts for refrigeration and TV, yeah, sorry, but I've got 500 watts coming in, and it's got a storage bank. It just adds up. It'll power it 24/7 indefinitely. So that is like awesome. Just saying. That's like really, really good. That's everything I need for SHTF as long as people leave me alone.
So has this been a science thing to use a little because right now you literally are off the grid.
Technically, I have everything turned off. Yes.
And so you've got low voltage or low wattage. You probably don't need heat right now in Arizona, do you?
No, I've got a fireplace.
A fireplace?
Yeah.
And so you're running totally off solar in a normal house. I mean, you're not in the woods of the Adirondack Mountains or anything like that.
No, I'm in a normal suburban neighborhood, 900 square feet, and I'm, like I said, I'm just doing it for 3 days because I think my electric company is screwing me over, and I want to prove it to myself, I guess. And then if I'm able to prove it to myself, and then I'm going to do it for 5 days and bring them the footage and be like, I told you. But yeah, I mean, going solar is not really that difficult as long as you are efficient about it. So you're not going to be able to power a 25 cubic foot refrigerator for more than a day on any kind of generator. You have to have some, you can't, even my refrigerator that uses 300 watts, there is a surge, and you have to account for the surge for the refrigerator. The surge, I think it's the condenser or the compressor. There's a surge watt of 2,000 watts, and there is no solar that will handle that surge. So you have to get something low watt. And my other option was using an ice machine that uses 50 watts, but it would have to continuously make ice 24/7, and you have to have access to water in order to be able to do that. But this cooler, I guess it's a cooler. It's not really it looks like a cooler. But it's very small, but it uses the same amount of wattage as an ice maker, but you don't need ice.
Right. Yep. It was pretty cool. So you like little gadgets that help you, and I know the sun oven is probably the most amazing appliance ever made by mankind. But
the sun oven and my Kodiak generator, if I could only have two preps, it would be those. It would be the sun oven and my Kodiak.
That's awesome. I don't know if everybody knows, but I am the CEO and part owner of Sun Oven. I had to.
Seriously, your design of the sun oven is awesome. You're gonna laugh at me. I just now put 2 and 2 together, realizing you were the CEO of Sun Oven. I didn't even know.
We talked on the phone.
We have spoken on the phone, and we have emailed, and I just put that together.
Oh wow!
But what was I gonna say? Oh, I've tried the Go Sun Pro, which is like a long tube.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And it works good, but only if you're like just making one thing, and it can only be it's only enough to make for one person. And then I've also tried the Solavore, and the Solavore is okay, but it doesn't get hot as the sun oven. And like, okay, so my sun oven, get this. When I was in California, I left it outside in the rain, in the snow, and everything. And the glass that touches, the glass that closes onto the sun oven itself was so tightly sealed that not a drop of water got into the sun oven. So that it's like super high quality made, and it is literally one of my 2 favorite preps.
Awesome.
That I use all the time.
So here's what we're going to do. I know people have questions for you. So everyone, if you have a question, if you'll just type question with like a colon and your question afterwards, and if it's a legitimate question, maybe she will, the princess is in the house, maybe.
And if your question is, where's Rocky? I know that's going to be your question. He's at my feet.
Yeah.
No, I have never had children.
Okay, and so hopefully some questions will come in. I've heard U.S. Sun Oven didn't pay their sell for their commission. That's not true at all. Every
sales?
Okay. Therefore, before we took it over, there was all kinds of financial issues with Sun Oven, and that was true. We took it over a year ago, and we've got the company completely out of debt. It was almost a $500,000 in debt when we took it over, and we've paid every single person, every person that Sun Oven's ever paid. We needed to be paid. We have paid. We've made good, and every single affiliate we've made good.
You guys were behind for a little while. I remember that.
Yeah.
But you did get everything up to date.
You remember? I think I called you and told you, hey, I'm the new CEO. We're going to take care of you. We're going to make it up. And
I remember that now. I remember that.
And we're going to pay you. And it took us some time. The company should have been shut down like 5 years ago. It was, but
they're the only one. They're like but the All American Sun Oven is literally like the only company that makes a high quality solar oven.
Yeah. And it's paid off. We've done well, and things are. I mean, it's going great for us right now. So it just needed some tender, loving care from new people, and we've done that. So any questions? BC Truck needs dollars owed to him. That is not true, Redneck Brecker. That is a lie. I know who BC Truck is, and I've actually talked to BC Truck on the phone. You got misinformation. So next question is any other question?
Well, there's a couple. There's what do you like about the Kodiak? I think that it is the easiest one to use, the easiest one to hook up, and it's a really good price for what it is. The 69, it's not a 69 watt fridge. It only goes up to 60, but it uses an average of 35 to 45 watts. And just go to, when you're done watching this live stream, just go to my YouTube channel. It was I just made a video today on Sun Oven, but it was it was like 2 weeks ago video. You've had Elizabeth has had a Sun Oven for over 5 years. Yeah, I've had mine for like 3-4 years. I love it. The name, I'm sorry, I don't have the name on me. But again, if you go over to my YouTube, once this live chat's over, there will be a link in the description on that refrigerator video. The Sun Oven is,
It's not a fridge. It's like a cooler.
It's the size of a cooler, but it works like a fridge.
Okay.
Or a freezer. It works like a freezer.
Okay.
The Sun Oven wasn't so expensive. Well, it's all made in America. It's high quality, and it's going to last not only your lifetime, but to the lifetime of your children and your grandchildren. So think about that one.
Yep. And people understand the savings there as well. Is if you live in like Arizona, if you cook in your house, you're heating your oven up, which then your air conditioner comes on to counter that as the heat comes out of your oven.
Yeah, that is a really big one too. So like when you're using the Sun Oven outside, you open it and then you have to like, whoa, you have to back away because all that hot air comes out. It's the same with an oven in the house. Like you are heating that small kitchen of yours to 300 or 400 degrees, and then you're wasting money on electricity. So I don't think I've even used my regular oven since I've gotten the Sun Oven. Maybe once in California. I definitely haven't here because I don't even have the gas turned on. But the Sun Oven probably saved me at least $10 a month in my electric bill, at least. Probably 20 bucks a month in my electric bill. So if the Sun Oven costs 350 bucks, but you're saving 20 bucks a month in whatever gas or electric you use to charge or use your oven, it'll pay for itself within a year or two. So
yep.
Yeah.
We just had them on sale for the lowest price of the year. It was like 300 bucks. So
yeah.
If you guys want to get that, just let me know and I might be able to get you a good deal. Because we're trying to close out the year. Do you work in medicine?
I don't talk about what I do for a living.
Okay. Yeah.
I work on YouTube. I am Prepper Princess. I am a YouTube sensation.
A sensation. That's exactly right. And she hunts people down and kills them. No, okay, you don't do that.
No.
Let's see. Good to see. Happy and hurt. Okay, it's been a few years. I'm not okay. Any more questions for Prepper Princess? Oh, I know who Patty is from Pennsylvania. Yeah. Any more questions? Just type it up in there. So you do make money by the refrigerator, the generator. When people buy that from your site, you make money, right?
Well, the refrigerator's not on my website. So the way an affiliate works is if you're an affiliate with a company like I am with the Sun Oven, if they use my link on my website, then I get paid for it. But a lot of companies will just send you products and then you just get the product for free and then you leave a link. So a lot of what I do with those products, okay. So there's different ways you can do it. So they'll give you a free product, but if the product is not worth 500 bucks, I'll say, okay, I'll take your free product, but you also have to pay me $150.
Right.
Or here's a second option. You give me the free product, but I'm not giving them your link. I'm giving them my Amazon link because your link just goes to Amazon. I'm going to give them my Amazon link and get a commission off of the Amazon link because it's the same whether they use yours or mine. And usually they'll agree to that. I have had so many companies reach out to me where I just flat out turn them down. And I've had, believe it or not, I've had several companies that promote an amazing, wonderful product. I'm not sure I should say this, but I have a solar generator that is $2,000. It's a piece of crap. And the company made me take down my video. They paid me $250 to take down my video of that review. And people out there that you see all these videos about how wonderful this solar generator is, and I'm like, this is a piece of junk. But even preppers out there make videos saying how amazing and wonderful it is because they get money, like from they get an affiliate, and it's
Right.
like, you guys should not be promoting this. This is a piece of junk. I don't know how people can do that morally, but I just recently turned down. What did I turn down? I turned down a massage chair recliner.
But would you want one of them?
What?
Would you want one of them?
Well, of course I would, but I teach money saving and prepping, and it was a $2,000 recliner. Like, hey, after a long day out there in the wilderness, you should come home to this recliner, you know.
Okay, okay, you got morals. Okay, I got you.
And then I got some makeup, free food. Somebody was going to offer me like a month's worth of pre-made food plans. Somebody offered me a, I don't even know what it would be called. It's a gadget, just like a gadget, but they wanted people to buy it for $300, and I'm like, it looks like a $15 piece of junk. I'm not gonna promote that to my people, and I don't even need to receive it to know that. But yeah, I turn them down all the time.
Okay, we have a question. Love says, love your, oh, I can actually put these on the screen. Love your honest reviews, PP.
Yeah, and if you guys are wondering which generator I'm talking about, they paid me not to say anything. So you can email me at prepperprincess2@gmail.com, and I will tell you which one it is. It sounds like...
Don't do it. I don't want you to get in trouble.
I'm trying to think of a word that sounds like it. Machete.
So what kind of generator do you use? You've said it a couple times.
My main generator is the Kodiak. They keep making new ones. It's now the Energy Flex 1500, I think, but the original was the Kodiak, and that's my main one that I use, and it works perfect.
But you do have a Jackery. Is that like a sub one you use?
I love the Jackery. So yeah, I've got the Jackery and the Suwaki, and they're both my little ones. And they both work amazing for what they are. You could take a Jackery on a camping trip and like power up your laptop and pop in a DVD in there. Same with the Suwaki, and they both come with a really easy to use, easy to carry 100-watt panel. So like you can stick that on top of your tent and be powered like for your whole camping trip. I love both those units, and they're so small and cute.
Okay. Nice to hear you, PP, internet sensation. See, someone else, other people are saying this now.
I am so not a sensation. When I think of sensation, I think of like Barnum and Bailey, like the Sensational Circus or something.
Did you say you had a Blue Eddie? What the heck?
I didn't say I had one.
Okay. Yeah, you didn't say that. Yep.
I didn't say that.
Okay. Massage therapist way better than a chair. Okay. I would agree with that. Okay. That's some good comments. See right there, I'm gonna put that on there. Internet sensation. I said YouTube. They've expanded it to internet now.
Oh, it's the whole internet. Yeah.
The whole internet. Awesome. That is awesome. So if there's any more, you can come up, but I want you to tell us, so you do, this is not only a passion, but you do make money at this. And you don't, there's no bones about it. You let people know, you know, hey, listen, I make some money from doing this, support me. So like I tell people when they buy something from Amazon, go through my link. I make 4%. If that, and it doesn't affect your pricing at all.
No, I mean, I try and be as upfront about it as I can. You know, like when I got this for free, but I'm doing a review. Tell me what you think. I try and be upfront because the most important thing about me is my integrity. And I do not want something coming back to me going like, hey, Prepper Princess, I bought this thing like you told me to, and it's a piece of crap. Right. Like, so I'm really careful about that, and I try to be as honest as possible.
Yep. How do you charge your Kodiak? With the sun? Solar.
Yeah. Right now I've got all my panels set up on my fence, but I just ordered the brackets so I can put them up on the roof so that I'll have more sun exposure and it'll be more efficient.
But you had like a professional come in and look at all your solar needs and run the wires. And oh, you didn't? You did all this yourself?
Yeah, you go like this.
Yeah,
And
I
that's
was being sarcastic there because
Oh,
people think
okay.
I was being sarcastic because people think, well, you know, I got to buy this $7,000 system for solar, and
No, it's literally like the easiest thing to do. Like when you get the Kodiak, the one that I had these panels that only go with, they're proprietary, so they only go with the Kodiak. And you can't do it wrong. Like you literally go like that. Like that's how you attach the solars together. And then when you put the cable in the Kodiak, you just go like that, and that's it. You don't even they don't even send directions because you don't need them.
right. So that's good for people to hear because people think solar is so technical and that they can't understand it, but it's really easy these days.
It is. And when you look at like a 100-watt panel with the MP4, hold on. Hey, what are you doing?
He's not having fun with the TV, is he?
No, I don't know what he was chewing on. The MP4 connectors, yeah, when you look at them, there's literally only one way that they can connect. So it's not like, yeah, it's really uncomplicated. It's complicated and scary when you're looking at it online, but once you have it in front of you and you're looking at it, you're like, oh, and then you just connect them, you snap them together.
So you need to write a book.
I do need to write a book. In fact, I wrote a book, and when I went to visit my family on Thanksgiving, I was visiting with my friend Kate, and she's written 1 million books, and I was supposed to bring my laptop so she could show me how to have it published on Amazon, and I forgot my laptop.
So you got a book that you go, good. That's good.
I have,
Is it about saving money, prepping on a dime or something?
I don't think I've named the book yet, but it is about money saving and prepping. Yeah, all of those things.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Well, tell us how people can, I mean, especially follow you and watch your videos because they're amazing. I just don't let my wife watch them because I would spend less money. I know my wife would clamp down on a few things. But tell us how people can follow you, how they can support you, and how they can. So I have it. So every time you release a video, I get notifications too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I am.
I gotta know what a sensation is doing.
I am not a sensation. I am only on YouTube and Patreon, and that's it. Best way to follow me is on YouTube. So YouTube Prepper Princess.
And look for sensation. I mean, it's just there. And then your website though. I think I actually have a graphic for that. Ooh, look right there. That's your little graphic up there, Prepper Princess.
I'm wearing my hat. Yeah.
Yep.
The graphic was actually made by one of my subscribers.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so prepperprincess.com.
Yeah, that's my website. You can get links to the emergency food, the Energy Flex, the Kodiak that I use, the solar oven. The only things I put on my website are things that I have, that I use, and that I would think that somebody else should try.
And I see a sun oven. You can buy the sun oven right from you.
Yeah,
there.
it's on that bottom screen. Yeah.
So, well, I'm out of questions. I mean, you answer. I mean, you're good. I mean,
I pumped him out pretty quick, huh?
You did. I appreciate you coming on. I think a lot of people, you'll get a lot of followers. Go follow her channel. Oh, follow ours too, by the way, because we bring you the best content made in my
in America.
Well, my shack. I mean, I'm in my little bug out barn, I call it. But go follow, and you can watch her videos. You can see, and some of the videos, I'll be honest, well, you'll go, oh, I cannot eat on $1.35. I'm a man. I need more meat or something. But she gives practical ways to save money, and she lives it. I mean, she doesn't just talk about it; she lives it. And because a lot of people on YouTube, they talk about things, but you prove it. You show people. What was it the other night? You were doing something with light bulbs on one of the videos. or showing how you were lighting your whole house up with just solar, I think, or something. You don't even remember.
I don't.
And you don't drink. Okay.
No, I don't drink. Well, I'm thinking. So the video I made today was about the sun oven. The video before that was the refrigerator,
Well, this was a few weeks back, and
then I had the living in poverty video,
Mhm.
and then I don't remember what was, but that was like a month ago. So you must have been looking back a ways.
Oh, I've looked at all of the little red lines. I've watched like all of yours. So, but I told you one night I got in trouble I told you this, and I don't mind sharing it, that I was watching your video, and my wife goes, "Hey, we're laying in bed." She goes, "What are you watching?" And it's because it's a blonde girl talking about prepping. She goes, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "This is Prepper Princess." Are you kidding me? You don't know
who know who she is.
But anyway, okay. So everyone, her website is Prepper Princess. Her YouTube channel, she's got 140,000 people. People follow her from all over the world, and she's got great videos. You can learn a lot, and I love the idea that you're saying preppers can. You don't have to hoard. You don't have to. You can still live in the community and be grid down ready as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, one day at a time.
Okay.
Anything you set your mind to, you can do it. Sorry, that's PrepperNurse 1. My bad.
Yeah. So, hey, I thank you for joining us. And guys, we'll be back next week. I forgot who's going to be on. Oh, it's Kyle, my partner from Prepper Podcast. And there she is with her dog. He's
on my lap.
Yeah. And so thank you. And you guys have a good evening. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.